Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. We're going to be talking about the P0700 code, and we're talking about this video as it relates to the Dodge Ram. Okay, so essentially, if you have P0700 code, it pretty much means that there's a transmission control system malfunction, and this is one of the more common problems with Dodge Rams, especially particularly with this code. So essentially, with this code, it's pretty much saying that there's an automatic transmission that detects that there's a problem with it and that it needs attention. So in the case of this code, it's a general code. It pretty much means that for the most part, it's really very difficult to diagnose without an additional code with it. But normally when you get a P0700 code, it's mostly for the most part, a lot of times it's going to be accompanied by another code which tells you specifically what the problem is. And this code, this P0700 code, is not a Dodge specific code. Essentially every single car with an OB2 slot has this code in the system. If there's a transmission issue, this code will pop up. But it is possible to get the P0700 code without any other codes in addition to it. So if you get this code without any other code with it, it pretty much means that the transmission control circuit is malfunctioning. It's malfunctioning somewhere. But in general, when you get this code, it is for the most part accompanied by some other code, and normally these codes are within the range of the P0700 codes, P0700, 2, 3, 4, up until the P0800 codes. So basically, if you have this code, it's going to trip up the check engine light, and you have this code. Dodge actually has a simple OBD2 scanner in particularly with the van. Particularly in the Ram, you could cycle the key and you get the code for it, or you could use an OBD2 reader to get the code. But if you just get P0700 code, just pretty much tells you that there is an issue with the transmission. The next code pretty much tells you what specifically is causing that. And like I said before, it's going to trigger the check engine light. And even if you delete it, clear it without fixing the issue, that check engine light, that code's gonna pop up. So here are some of the causes of the P0700 code. It could be a variety of things, but it could be a result of a bad transmission control module, a faulty shift solenoid. You could have low fluid in you might have to fill up your transmission fluid. There could be a short circuit in the TCM, or you could have a bad valve body. So the symptoms of this P0700 code is you're going to have transmission issues. You're going to have a difficult time shifting. You're going to have issues with you could have late shifting, you could have hard shifting, it could be slipping, etc. Also on top of that, the computer could essentially activate limp mode, and limp mode exists to keep any damage that could occur from occurring more than what's already occurred, or could just keep it from any damage that could occur if you keep on driving it normally. Obviously, your service engine light is going to be on, and on top of that, you won't get all the gears you won't get all the gears. You might be running on first gear and second gear, and then won't get the rest of the gears when you're driving. Or worst case scenario, you could have your engine die, or the engine could be running pretty bad. So basically, the P0700 code could mean any variety of problems with your transmission. It doesn't have to mean that your transmission specifically need to be replaced or have issues. It could mean that, but there are so many other things, other components, sensors, that and also the your truck's other computers that is connected to it that could be causing that issue. It might it varies from being a simple fix to changing out a solenoid to your transmission being blown. It could range from any of those two things. But obviously, I'm gonna do this video specifically if you guys have late shift, as far as so you might have a situation where there's a late shift, and it won't shift into second gear until it reaches about 2,500, 3,000 RPM. Sometimes it shifts if it lets off slightly. And this video is specifically for the fixes as far as this situation is concerned. And just to add to that, there might be other symptoms, like it won't shift into first on the dash, and it won't go into overdrive till it's way late. And on top of that, it could actually jump drastically out of gear if you try to put your foot on the accelerator. So if you have any of those issues, you might there could be a bunch of things that could cause it. Now, if you have a P0700 code with specifically just that code alone, and you're not quite sure where to start as far as diagnosing this issue, one of the main things you want to do is you want to check your fluid level, just to make sure that your transmission fluid is topped off. And if it's a bit low, you might want to add some transmission fluid. Add some transmission fluid, and just make sure that your transmission fluid is red. If it's brown or black, that could indicate that there might be some damage to your transmission, and in that case, you might want to just change out the fluid, and that might fix your problem. But I've seen a lot of cases where that would fix the problem for maybe a week or two of driving, and it'll come back after a week or two, and you still have that same issue. Now, if you get this issue and it comes back, what you want to do is probably to change out your transmission shift solenoid, and that could be a little bit expensive relative to, it could be pretty expensive. Taking it to somebody to change that out. You could do it yourself. You're gonna have to drop the transmission pan, change out the solenoid. But here's the thing about that. Normally, if the solenoid is bad, you're gonna get another code, a P0700 something code with with telling you that which of the solenoids is bad. I think there's at least 2 solenoids under that pan, and it's going to tell you whether 1 or 2 of them has issues. Now I've encountered these issues with solenoid problems, and I'm going to tell you what I did to fix the issue. Now, what I did with my truck was I actually use AT205 reseal. All right, a lot of times if your transmission is slipping, etc., the main issue with that is maybe some of the seals are worn, Some of the seals have shrunk. Some of the seals have gone brittle in the transmission, and you know it's letting it's not working properly as a result of that, and some of the fluid is getting to certain portions of it without actually that it's not supposed to. Now that's my fix that I've actually tried, and it's worked. It's worked relatively well. I'm not saying that all the issues have gone away, but it's worked relatively well. However, like I said before, if you have this issue, what you want to do is you want to change your transmission fluid first. If that doesn't fix the issue, what you want to do is change the solenoids under the pan. And like I said, a lot of times you get that P0700 code with another code. Now, if you don't get another code of the P0700 code, obviously, you know, you're going to have to diagnose it on your own. It could mean that, you know, there might be something that's intrinsically, there might be an issue that's intrinsically inside the transmission. But at that point, you're probably going to want to go through diagnosing the most simplest and easiest and cheapest fixes first before you actually get into more complicated parts of the transmission and the solenoid. While it's under the transmission pan, isn't really the worst possible situation as far as fixes for this problem. Anyway, I hope this has helped you guys out. If you guys have any of your own personal experiences, particularly with this code and your Dodge Ram, definitely leave a comment in the comment section of your own experiences. Maybe it'll just help somebody else out. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. All that good stuff, right, guys? Take care.